Hey y'all, I'm Marissa. Welcome to my channel, More Mindful. To my channel, welcome back. If you're already subscribed, if you're a new subscriber, welcome. Thank you all so much. I always have to say I'm always grateful when I get the comments from you all as well as the questions. So I actually decided to wing this video and just kind of answer some questions that I've been asked before, and just kind of walk you through my journey thus far, walk you through the process of semi-freeform locks as it's been my experience. A quick rundown of my lock journey. Started in 2021. I did start on my natural hair, which was pretty long and pretty thick. And long, I just mean it probably came down to like, okay, to be fair, it probably came down to here stretch. I started with 2-strand twists, okay, and after about 3 months, I think I let my hair kind of just do. I was retwisting it myself, but then I don't know, around 3 or 4 months, I got lazy with it. I had my baby, I just wasn't feeling it, and so I had my sister to come and help me retwist my locks. Then around 6 to 7 months, I noticed my locks started combining because I allowed them to, and yeah, it was a journey from there. You know, I have this here that is all me. Like, I wouldn't have that, you know, if I hadn't done the grid. If you go back into my older videos, you'll see where I actually created that part, and I had my twists coming down on this side and then down on this side. So my locks pretty much grew accordingly. The biggest difference is you can see where I let how many combine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Then with this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually 6 here. Okay. This lock is always so wonky. It's hilarious. It don't know if it want to lay down like this or lay like this. I don't really know. But yeah, so I let this one. Obviously, this one falls on this side. Part still remains. But yeah, I mean, by the 6th and 7th month, I started letting my hair combine. This one is also wonky in that it's kind of circular in some parts and flat in other parts. So this one, 1, 2, 3 locks, you can see. And then I pretty much have identical locks on both sides. Like, even though all of my locks are pretty much unique, each lock is its own thing. You have some single locks, and then you have some many that are combined. I guess the beauty of like the journey of balance is that whatever kind of happened on one side happened on the other. So I had the 6 right here, but I also have the 6 right here. Now this one is a lot tight. Oh, maybe not. Hold on, I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. This is actually the 6, but as you can see, because it's kind of all binded together, like some of the locks have just truly grown in size. So it only looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's actually a 6th one in there. It's somewhere in there. It's somewhere in there. So this one and this one match, just like this one with the 3 match this one with the 3. And then I have one here with 3 as well. Another one that's pretty flat, thoroughly flat up until the bottom, and I have others that are just like it, you know, on this side. 2, I think it was a 3rd one in here. It's actually right here. It's kind of blended in. And then I have some on this side like this. When I look at them, I be like, these Jones just look so dope. Like, these babies are so beautiful. Honestly, like, they're so beautiful, and they feel so strong and amazing. So that, and I'm just showing you, you know, what kind of happens on one side happens on the other side in its own little way. That one on that other side is kind of like the twin to this one. I guess that's what I'll call them, like twins. And then I just have a bunch of singlets. Like this one, which I'm very happy is thick as all outdoors. I really love that. I prefer thick locks. It makes me feel safe. Like it makes, I don't know, it just makes me feel good. This is two. I have some that have just started growing out on their own. Some like this, which are two. Okay. Same thing on the other side. As I showed you this one. I hope I'm not going too fast, y'all. This. Again, I have randos that just kind of come out the woodwork. Beautifully so. And then you'll also see where it's just growing. Like this one, if you notice the fuzziness of it all, I wouldn't even be able to, if I wanted to be nitpicky, I wouldn't even be able to like retwist it around because it's just fuzzy. It's just growing. Like this one's going to be super, super thick. Super thick. I think I mentioned this before. I have some in the back that have broken off, and that's why I always say whatever tends to happen on one side tends to happen on both sides. So these two locks, I believe, are the locks that I had threads on when I was in Costa Rica. I went to a really fun event and I got some threading wrapped around my locks, and it was so pretty, but I kept it in way too long. So my locks started thinning out at the bottom. So I have those two that I just kind of let go. Then I have ones like this. This is probably my longest lock. So if it comes down in the front like this, you can imagine what it looks like in the back. And then I have some, I think again, like same thing, but even the way my edges are, like I don't really do my edges like that. You feel me? So, you know, I let them grow out. I'm letting them kind of curl up and just be, because I don't want to drag my edges with these locks. These locks are too heavy for that. But something I think about is like this lock, so you can see it, right? And then you see somewhere around here, it starts to get extremely thin, very thin. And then towards the bottom, it's thick. So if I put my hand to it, you can see, you know, it's about as long as my fingers. My hands are pretty like long. So, yeah, like somewhere around here, I just wonder if it's going to grow into itself in such a way. You know, and I'm pretty sure everybody that freeforms or semi-freeforms experiences at least one or two locks like this. And I think about the bottoms, the ones that I just showed you, like how they kind of split off and they're really thin. This one makes sense because there's nothing at the bottom, but this one has this sort of heavy tip at the bottom. And I actually just had a lock recently. I don't remember where it is. It's gone from my mind now, but I had a lock recently that I just yanked and it came off, you know what I mean? So it does happen, you know, even for me, a person who has done everything that I could to allow my hair to bind together, merge together, combine, and be really strong rooted. You know, I have those locks that, you know, they're you know, I don't know the fate of them, but you know, I'm not too worried about it. It is what it is. You know, it's a long piece, but at the end of the day, my hair health trumps all things to do with length. As long as my hair is healthy, that's what I care about. So let me address a few questions that I've had in my comments. One of the questions is, you know, what are my thoughts on using rich oils or heavy or thick oils on locks, particularly freeform locks? When I was in the very start of my journey, I was trying so many different oils. So I did the black seed oil, I did the castor oil, Jamaican black, is that Jamaican black seed? Jamaican black castor, I can't remember, y'all. You know what I'm trying to say. JBOC, yeah. You know, I did the, I know it was another type, maybe it was tea tree, I can't really remember. But most times I would say I didn't try to put too much oil to the shaft of the lock. I will mostly focus on my roots. So that's what my recommendation would be. I would say to focus on your roots a little bit more, because even this is something I would like to point out. Even my roots, like when you have such thick hair, even around your edges, which blissed, I'm happy. But I just would say that I don't always go in and do the massaging to really stimulate my scalp the way I need to. And sometimes I notice that my hair will begin to flake. And I don't think it's the flakes of dandruff. I think it's the flakes of dry scalp. So I would say if you're going to incorporate something like black seed oil, tea tree oil, castor oil, something that's really rich and thick, I would say just, take your time, focus on your roots, a little less on the shaft of the locks, because you don't want your hair to be weighed down unless you do. So if you want it to stick down or you want to put some weight on it, then it wouldn't be a bad idea to add those rich, heavier oils. It's totally up to you. It's all in what you want to do. But also just remember, like, your fingers are really critical, you know what I mean, in the process of like stimulating your natural sebum or the natural oils in your scalp. I have to remember all the time, just go through, like, get them nerves, like, start, your eyes start to roll in the back of your head and it feels so good. so sometimes you just have to remember that too, instead of putting too many thick oils, because I think ultimately hair health is the most important thing. So you want to kind of just do what you can to stimulate your natural growth, natural hair oils, natural anything that promotes, your growth and growth retention. Another question that I had was how many locks I have. Okay. So as I said before, I do not count my locks. I have never really counted my locks. The only reason why I kind of like knew how many I had, or a round figure, is because when I was about 2 months or whatever, and I was still going through and retwisting, I used a box of clips, and I think the clips came with, was it 95 clips? I can't really remember, but it was like 95 clips in one box. And then I used, and this is when my hair is very fresh, it's still 2-strand twist, very clearly 2-strand twist, small, and I used another box, but I only used not even like 3/4, my math, y'all, not even a half a box. Like, so I knew I had about 115 to begin with. Now you might as well say that more than half of my hair consists of merged locks. Many of them are two locks together, 3 locks together, and then I have the few which have 4 to 6. So you can cut that in half. That number, that 115 number, can be pretty much cut in half, I guess, if that gives you a clearer picture. Now, what I would say about that is just bear in mind that when I began my lock journey, starting my grid, starting my 2-strand twist myself, I really started with knowing that I wanted thick locks, and then I proceeded to create the size of the twist that I wanted. And then from the twist, I decided it was more me and authentic to allow it to merge together. Some merges I tried to break apart, and some merges came right back together. So it's kind of like I had to learn to stop even battling my hair and just allow the merge to happen. It was, again, not always a pretty process, but it was what it was. The only time that I would stop or try to stop something merging together is if it was causing me discomfort. So other than that, I really didn't bother it too much, y'all. I didn't bother it too much. And I think that's it, really. Like, I hope that gives you guys a better picture. I really love it. I love my locks. I love what they're shaping up to be. I really, I'm gonna be honest, I look forward to them getting longer and longer. Like, at some point, if they get too long, you know, down to my butt or something like that, I don't mind cutting them because I think they're solid enough that if I went through one of them right now, like let's just use one as an example. If I went down this one right now, even though the bottom is now rounded, I'm pretty sure if it got really long, I could cut it. You know, if it was down here, if I like this length or I want it a little further down, I could cut it and it'll still stay. It's not gonna unravel. So I think that's the beauty of locks. Like you could kind of undo, not undo, but you can sort of trust that it's strong. You know, it's like every bit of the lock is locked. And I really love that. I'm not afraid to cut my locks. I don't think I'm severing anything. I don't see it as like, oh, you're severing your ties with your lock. No, even though I do believe that your locks, your hair is like its own entity, so to speak, and it's fully connected to you, and it's a reflection of you. I still believe that just like a tree outside, the tree's branch is going to danger or damage my house in the next windstorm. You got to cut the branch, okay? Like, don't be silly now. I'm not going to keep the branch because I love the tree. Like, the branch got to go. That's how I look at it. So I'm like, listen, if I start sitting on my hair, okay, if I start sitting on my locks, next thing you know it, my hair is being pulled at the bottom. And I'm like that's uncomfortable. So, you know, I'm not afraid to do what's best, you know, for my comfort. At the end of the day, it's about your comfort level. It's about your comfort zone. What might work for one person may not work for you. So I would love to be able to throw my hair back. I think it's really beautiful to just, you know, be in my feminine and throw my hair back depending on what I'm wearing or whatever. I love that. I love to be able to push it all off to the side. Like, I think it's really cute and it's pretty. You know, I prefer this side, but I like it. As you can see, it just right now is doing that thing because this is not its natural side yet and it's not long enough yet. So I look forward to the length, you know, I do, so I can just easily pull my hair back and stuff. But I'm loving it. Like, that's not me saying that I wish it'll hurry up and grow, because we already here, you know, at this stage, and I've gone through hella shrinkage in the beginning. Like, my hair was like this size in the back. So growth is going to happen. Growth is inevitable, as long as you're taking care of your hair. So I hope this video was inspiring. Again, I hope I've made it up to you guys that I haven't been on here in a while, but I do appreciate you all coming through with the comments and, you know, liking my videos, subscribing to my channel, and just wanting to keep up with my journey along with me. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me for more, ask me questions, give me some stuff to talk about. So it's not so redundant. But yes, thank you all for visiting my channel once again. My name is Marissa. Peace and love to you guys.